This is the plaintiff, Kenneth Goldman. He says he brought his iPhone 6 to the defendant's shop for repair. He fixed it. It worked for 1 day, then stopped working again. When he brought it back, the defendant told him it would cost about $100 to fix. He couldn't believe the guy wanted to charge him again for the same problem and is suing him for the return of the $130.67 he refuses to refund. This is the defendant, Seth Patchen. He says he repaired the plaintiff's phone, then almost 7 months later, the guy comes back with physical damage to the phone and expects him to fix it for free? Come on, man. Don't you have better things to do than waste his time? Bottom line, he fixed the phone. The plaintiff broke it. He owes him a big fat nothing. He's accused of shoddy workmanship.
All parties, please have your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says that he took his cell phone to the defendant for repair, and when he picked it up, guess what? It still didn't work. But the defendant says he fixed the phone and it worked just fine. It's the case of you can't hear me now.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you brought your phone. What kind of phone was this?
It was an iPhone, Apple iPhone.
Which one?
6S.
Okay, you brought it to the defendant's business, which is called Street Talk?
Yes.
Okay, in order to get what fixed? What was wrong with it?
It was not responding to touch. It was frozen.
Do you have a receipt or an invoice or anything from when you took it?
I do. This is the original receipt. It's hard.
Is there anything other than that, or that's it?
There is something on the back, which I'll tell you about, but that's the original receipt. A little hard. It's a little faded. It was from July.
I hate that. I feel like whenever I see a business where the receipt fades after a few months, I feel like it's on purpose. Like there's an ink manufacturer out there that says fades in 6 months, you know. And what's this say? Here, I'm even going to give you this, and you can tell me what it says.
Says iPhone 6 Plus repair.
It just says the word repair. There's nothing else like cracked screen, unresponsive, no diagnosis.
No, we just ring it up as a repair.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any other paperwork that talks about what the person
Yeah, I have a receipt actually that states our
You have a
policy.
receipt that you gave us, which is for a Galaxy phone. What's that
Well,
about?
no, this is not his receipt. This is just a receipt that states our policy on the receipt.
No refunds, exchanges, no warranty. Okay, I can see it on the faded one.
Okay.
All right, so what I'd like to ask you is, do you remember this case?
I don't.
Okay.
Like I said, it was 7 months.
So is there anywhere that you guys, when a customer comes in and says, this is my complaint, there's nowhere where you write what the complaint is or type in what the complaint is?
No.
So there's never any documentation about what the problem is. According to you, you brought it in because it was non-responsive.
Correct.
And then what happens?
Well, I was leaving for vacation the next day. And
When you picked it up, was it working?
so I left it. It was about a 30-minute repair. I came back, and it did respond.
It worked. You
did
tested
respond
it.
to touch.
Right.
That's
Okay.
correct. The next day, I got on a plane and left for a 3-week vacation in France.
Nice.
And that day on vacation, the very next day, the phone froze up again. It just was back to its same condition.
Okay.
So
do
there it was.
you have your phone records from that time?
No, phone records, no.
Well, I'd like to see if you were able to make phone calls or, you know.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I couldn't use
I know,
the
I hear you
phone.
saying that. I'm saying, do you have the phone records to show me that you couldn't use the phone ever again after that?
I don't have my phone records.
All right, now, according to you, you come back from vacation, you go to see them, and you tell them what?
As soon as I come back, I tell them it's just like it was before. Can you fix it? And so they look at it, and actually, it wasn't this gentleman. It was people who worked for him. It was in a kiosk. There were other people involved.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a Russian fellow who did the repair the first time. It was the same gentleman. I took it back to him, and he looked at it, and he said he couldn't fix it and that I needed a new motherboard. The phone needs a new motherboard.
That's when you know
And
it's
then
time
if you
to
look
get
on the
rid of the
back,
phone.
if you look
Yeah.
on the back of the receipt, he gave me an address of a place where I could get it
Sheepshead Bay
in
Road.
Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn.
Do you do business with anything in Brooklyn that you send it out to be repaired?
Yeah, we have a shop in Brooklyn.
What's the address for that shop?
I don't
It's your
have-
shop, right?
No. My shop is in the mall.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
just have a
This is a
supplier.
shop that you, when you say we
I-
have a shop, you meant there's a shop we deal with in Brooklyn.
Right, exactly.
Right, okay. And where is it, on Sheepshead Road?
No. It's in by Kings Plaza Mall.
Okay.
Nowhere near where I
Okay,
was.
so let me just respond to that. Number one, there's no such thing as getting a new motherboard. There's what's called a motherboard repair, which basically we send it out, takes like 3 days to repair, and we send it back. When we fix the screen, if there would have been a motherboard issue from the beginning, the phone would have never worked. It wouldn't have stopped. It wouldn't have worked for 1 day and then stop working the next day. It wouldn't have worked from the beginning. And when I asked my employee about this, he basically said that the phone had physical.
How did you know which employee dealt with it?
They have like one main technician that works there. He works
And
there
how
6
would he
days a
know
week.
if every receipt looks exactly the same and there's no notes? How would he know?
Well, I asked him if he had any customer that he remembers.
Right. How's he going to
Right.
remember if you guys take absolutely no notes about what there's nothing to jog his memory. It's just a bunch of receipts. How would he remember?
Basically, he said that the only customer he remembers from that period of time was a customer that brought back the phone, said that the touchscreen wasn't working, and he informed me it was because there was physical damage on the screen, and that's why the touchscreen was not working.
And that's what you told the credit card company, and according to you, there was no physical damage on the screen.
That's correct. There was none.
Now, according to you, you went out and bought a new phone that day. Do you have the receipt from that new phone?
No, it wasn't that day, but no, I don't have the receipt with me.
But my employee would never give out
But your
an
employee,
address.
okay, but your employee doesn't have any personal knowledge of this case. None, zero, because it's 6 months ago. You didn't deal with him. Nobody has, I mean, you don't have an avenue in your business to take a single note. So how do you contradict what the man's saying?
Welcome back to the People's Court. The plaintiff says he picked his phone up from the defendant after the defendant supposedly repaired it, but the next day when he was on a plane, the same problems occurred. He had to buy a new phone. So does the defendant have to refund the repair cost if the plaintiff had to buy a new one? Let's go back into the courtroom.
Number one, there's no such thing as getting a new motherboard. Number two, he said there was a motherboard issue and that he fixed the motherboard issue and then it stopped working the next day. If we were to
That's
fix
not what
the
he
phone,
said. Let me tell you what he said. What he said is the thing is non-responsive. Then your guy fixed it. Then he left on vacation and it became non-responsive immediately. Then he came back from vacation and then he said, look, the thing is unresponsive again. And then your guy said it needs a motherboard something.
which
The
doesn't
word
make any
motherboard,
sense.
people basically stop listening after the word motherboard.
The
Nobody
motherboard is basically a whole new phone. I mean,
Right.
that's
So
a-
why would anybody do it? They're not going to buy a motherboard
make-
for an iPhone 6. They're going to buy a new phone. So nobody would ever do that.
I don't know, but like I said, it wouldn't work and then not work. That's what I'm saying.
There's
Unless
lots of
there was
stuff that
physical
works and then
damage.
doesn't work. How did you buy the new phone?
Well, I switched services and I left this Sprint and went to AT&T and brought over phones for myself, my wife, my son. And
Okay, so you should be able to show me when you did that, right? If you go into your account right now, you could show me.
yeah,
Do it. You know, it kind of bothers me that with absolutely no basis in fact, you guys responded to the credit card company. This customer came with this problem and then comes back a month later with a cracked phone. I mean, you don't even know that that's this customer, but you said it with such fanfare that the credit card company denied the chargeback. And here's the receipt for his thing, and here's his signature, and you made it sound like you guys remember the case, but you don't.
Like I said, if a touchscreen is irresponsive, it's due to physical damage. If there was a motherboard issue, it wouldn't have worked one day and then stop working the
I
next
don't know
day.
what
It
you're
wouldn't
saying.
have worked from the beginning.
If this touchscreen was non-responsive, it's due to physical damage.
Right.
So, okay, then he brings it in because it's non-responsive,
And
which
if
you
there's
say
physical-
has to be physical damage. I've owned phones, okay?
Right.
So, but you say it has to be physical damage if the touchscreen is unresponsive. That's just not true. They can go unresponsive. I don't know why you're saying that to me. Do you think I've
No,
never
no, I'm
owned
just-
phones? I've owned phones as long as they've existed. So a phone can go bad without, the phone dropping and all of a sudden going bad. But in any event, he brings it in because it's non-responsive. You fix it, and then it's not fixed. So why does that mean he dropped it in the meantime? You specifically told the credit card company that the screen was cracked. When I'm cross-examining you on it, you're telling me I have no personal knowledge. We don't take any notes on anything. But my employee says, the only guy I can remember from 7 months ago, blah, 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 blah. And yet that's not what you said to the credit card company. We don't have any personal knowledge of this. We can't remember. We don't take any notes of anything a customer says when they come in. Like mechanics or other people do. They just type a sentence. But if you had told the credit card company that we remember some guy 7 months ago, I think they would have reversed the charge. All right, what have you got? Wait, don't come up to me. Please hand it to my bailiff.
I was trying to lower the bill, but it's
It's
not,
the beautiful circle.
yeah.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to insist that you show me proof that you bought a telephone right when you came back from that vacation.
Well, I didn't.
Is that going to be a problem?
No.
Okay, why were you saying I didn't what?
Well, I changed accounts later, but
Okay, you changed account. When am I going to see that the phone didn't work, so you needed a new phone? Wouldn't you have bought it right away?
I did buy it right away.
Okay, so you'll be able to find that you did. Because how are you going to be without a phone? Can you be without a phone?
I bought a phone. I have a receipt somewhere.
Okay, so no problem. You'll be able to figure it out.
Absolutely.
I'm going to insist that you submit to the court a copy of that receipt. If I see that it is in fact very close to those 3 weeks when you went away, that resolves this problem. Then I know that there is a broken phone, that you went back, that you talked to them, and really there's nobody disputing it in the courtroom. You're swearing under oath, and there's no one on that side who can dispute it because they don't remember you at all. And the owner came and not the gentleman you dealt with. So if you can show me that there is a receipt for a telephone relatively quickly after that 3-week vacation, then you're on. Okay? So how long do you think you need?
Okay. A day or two?
I'll give you a week, and then I will rule. But assuming that he's able to show me that, it's going to be a verdict for the plaintiff in the amount of $130.67, because if you do a repair that doesn't work, you shouldn't charge for the repair. That's my verdict.
So if the plaintiff can prove his story, then he will get his money back. You're going to have to give him the $130 back. You brought the neighborhood with you.
Yes. Just a little family trip.
Is that what it
Reason
is?
to get away, yeah.
A little vacation day.
Yeah.
All right. It sounds like you keep lousy records, right? Think you'll change a little bit?
Yeah. In the future, we'll make some notes.
I think you should.
Again, it's a long period of time, 6-7 months
Absolutely.
ago. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't get what everybody's here for. All right. Thank you. You guys got to go.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you very much. Goodbye. 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 It's the neighborhood. All right, Mr. Goldman. Yes, sir. You know, what's interesting is why did you file a suit over this when you bought a new phone, you changed services, even if you get this fixed, you can't use it?
Well,
What
I
are you gonna do?
was looking to get this fixed. I couldn't, at the time, I decided not to put more good money after bad. And so I went and got a new phone.
Yeah, I know. So even if he fixes it, you're not going to be able to use it.
I have a new operating phone. I don't need it.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need it.
Right. I don't. I was just suing for the...
You don't get the question. It's okay. Thank you very much. Okay? Harvey?
Quick update, the plaintiff did submit proof that he bought that new phone, so he's getting the cost of repair back. We'll see you next time.